Hey, my friends, welcome back to the Less Hustle, More Profit podcast. In today's episode, I want to talk to you really and just have a full-blown conversation about how I grew my YouTube channel to 600,000 YouTube subscribers. Here's the deal. Growing to 600,000 YouTube subscribers was actually really easy because I built a membership to fund the growth of the channel. And I think this conversation is so important to have because people want to grow their audience. They want to make something that is sustainable. They want to make money from monetizing their audience. But what you don't know is if you don't start monetizing in the first place, if you keep delaying, oh, I want to just invest in my channel, or oh, I just want to keep showing up and earning new subscribers, before actually going through the discomfort of building a program, making an offer, learning to sell a product online, that it's ultimately not going to work out. And what I mean by that is without a product to fund the growth of your social media, here's the thing. It's not going to be sustainable, all right? And I have a short story on why I know this to be true, okay? Back in 2012, 2013, I had this idea that I would be a daily vlogger or like some type of vlogger. I don't know. I had big dreams. And I wanted my buddy, who I thought would charge me like very reasonable prices, which, spoiler alert, he was. I was like, what would you charge me to edit like a video a week or a video, 2 or 3 videos a week, right? And he was like, okay, something like $45 per video. And if you do the math, it's a little bit less than $150 per video. And honestly, looking back, not a terrible price, right? But here's the problem. How can you, or how could I, without having a business, justify paying $150 a week for content creation if it wasn't going to make that money back? And it was right then and there, I was like, oh, to really be a content creator, I must be able to make money off the people watching enough immediately to pay for the team I need. So if you're listening today and you're saying, oh my gosh, I want to have a social media audience, or oh my gosh, I have an audience, I'm started, but I really want to take it to that next level, I want to encourage you that you really need to consider how you're going to be able to support the team that is around you. Because your social media can only go so far by being your side project. It can only go so far by relying on ad dollars, off of how many views you get, off of how many brand deals you get. I really want to hit home that being a content creator is so valuable to your customers if you can do this full time. If you can be a content creator full time, you can show up the best to grow your audience, you can show up the best for your audience, and you can earn an amazing living doing this full time. Okay? How I know this to be true is that I've did it. I've been able to grow my subscriber count to 600,000 subscribers. Back when I had 10,000, 20,000 YouTube subscribers, I was lost. I wasn't able to post consistently. I had no strategy. What happened was a fluke, right? Like I posted some videos and some people liked a few and it worked. But when I pivoted to being able to show up consistently, multiple days a week of content, showing up, building a team around me, it wasn't until then that I was able to really grow to the hundreds of thousands. But the way that it was funded was through my membership. And here at, inside of our program, Merge Elite Coaching, which is our software company and coaching company, we take people through a 4-step system that is so easy if you already have an audience. So if you're interested, go to merjo.com/scale and you can just watch my training. It's so good. So it's merjo.com/scale. All right. Super good. Sign up for my free training. You can book a call with me and my team. I'd love to chat with you. But if you are wanting to really figure out the secret to my success or the secret to my growth, it is that simple. Creating a product that people who watch your video can purchase and support you and get more from you, because at the end of the day, a YouTube video can only do so much. A YouTube video can only help you so much. And most of my clients I work with, I'll talk to them and I'm like, okay, if you're having trouble promoting yourself and like talking about your offer to your audience because it feels salesy, I love to ask this question. This is definitely like a throwing rocks at, throwing rocks type of question, but it always hits home. And the question is, if your customer could only watch your content, are you able to help them the most you could? Are they able to get the result that you want them to get, right? If they could only watch your content, is that enough? Every single one of my clients are like, no, Tanner, that is not enough. It is no, they definitely need my program. I'm like, you need to show up with that conviction to sell your program. And it's really that simple thing that's like, oh, my program can actually help people. Like your brain will ultimately shift out of a place of like, oh, I'm salesy, to like, oh my gosh, it's an act of service of me helping them make that decision or helping them know if they're right for this program or not. Okay. So I love to just talk about that before we dive into logistically how I grew to, 600,000 YouTube subscribers and an email list of 200,000 and, thousands of customers and things like that. But it's really important to know you have to serve your customer through creating something that can create the amount of money necessary to help fund this organic marketing effort. All right. It's very important to know that if you have an audience, you have done the hardest part. You have grew like-minded people. You have, showed up. It's very similar to paid ads. You just pay for it in different ways. If I didn't want to spend all the time investing into organic and into my YouTube channel, I could have just spent money to get eyeballs and to get clients and customers. But here's the secret. Like many of us that become successful on YouTube, before I had a successful audience, I didn't have any money. I didn't have money to throw at Facebook ads. So if you find yourself with limited funds, possibly you may have excess time. And that's where I was. That's how I became successful, was trading time for dollars instead of trading dollars for more dollars, like when you do paid ads. So usually you have a lot of money, no time, or a lot of time and no money, right? Or usually each of us can find ourselves in one of those two stories when we start our entrepreneurship journey. So back to logistically how we scaled to 600,000 while being able to fuel that growth from our membership. And I want to be like super transparent and like just share that journey and that perspective with you. So back then, it was 2017. I had like 15,000 YouTube subscribers inside of Merjo Elite Coaching. I teach a pilot workshop system if you've never sold anything online to your audience. And I tested this in 2017 before I sold anything to my audience. I tested like a simple workshop. Explain it in the program in depth. It's super cool. Again, watch my training if you haven't. So then I sold that in 2017. It did pretty well. And then I took all of that and I turned it into my membership. And I launched that in 2017. And it was a solid launch and it was a start. Like it was a really solid start. I had my first $20-something thousand month. It was crazy. And it definitely was a firm foundation so that I could reinvest into my business and give me a little bit of funds to like take a breath and breathe. Because as you know, when you're working online, you don't know where your next dollar comes from, things like that. So what I did was I spent the first year after launching my membership site and whatnot. At that time, I had like one virtual assistant that worked on my membership site full time. Her name's Mary. She's now my operations officer at our organization, and she's incredible. Like one of my favorite people. And like she's everyone's favorite. So like I can say that. Like she's awesome. So anyway, Mary was on the team, and by the end of 2018, so another year, I invested like 12 months to like grow this business and like really, make sure that I could do this. Now, I will say, as a solo content creator at that time, I tried out like working with videographers, like batching content. Like I started building out systems, but I was like, I need a producer. Like I need a video editor. I need somebody that can like help me create content. Like I need a YouTube studio. And it was such, like looking back, it's such one of the best investments I ever made, was deciding to invest in my team and deciding to invest in equipment to make my production quicker, faster, and better, right? If you can make it quicker, faster, and better, you can make more content, you can serve more people, you can get your word out quicker, and you can be consistent more, right? So at the end of 2018, I had a particular employee that was working a little for my new business and a little for my previous business that I was transitioning out of. If you guys don't know, my background is actually in content publishing, brand partnerships, being an agency and she worked at that company. So writing blog articles, pitching brands, like very different than what I was, trying to ascend to, which was a company that we had full control over. It was very fun. And at the end of 2018, I went to my business partner, then girlfriend, now wife. And I was like, Courtney, can she just come work for our new company, like this new startup? At the time, Courtney wasn't really involved in it. And she was like, sure. I was like, okay, we'll figure this out. But like, I just need more help. And I remember to kick off 2019, I had a full-time producer. And I was only able to do it from the funds of building a recurring revenue-based machine, right? We call it a recurring revenue-based machine. Some people call it a membership. The way I teach membership is very different. I think a lot of people think they're like chained to their members, and it's just not true. So I like to call it a recurring revenue machine, and that's what we had, so that I could invest a portion of my funds back into my team. And it had been so consistent for over a year that I was like, this is how I can do it. So I trained her on like editing, trained her very simple on editing. I had her produce for me for a while. And what producing looks like is like research and prepping and coming up with titles. So cool. Taught her that. And then I taught her the editing. And then I believe that to have a real company, you should not be the only face of the brand. And you could be the main face, but I love having diversity. My entire business, everything I do, I don't want to be the only face of. Main reason is because I want to build something bigger than me every single time. When you build something bigger than yourself, it allows for a melting pot of people to come together. So after I taught her to produce, her to edit, I remember like being like, hey, do you feel comfortable like hosting videos, like being an actual personality on the channel? I was like, this would be huge growth. Like if we could do this, this is amazing. And that's what we did. So we taught her to be talent. We taught her how to sell. We did all of that. And we since, went on to add multiple craft producers and contributors to our channel and to our content and to our company and to our brand. And that, my friends, is how we started showing up. I mean, back in 2019, 2020, 2018, my goal was to have a video for every popular term in my niche. So every single thing someone was searching for, in my niche, when they searched for it, guess what? We popped up. We showed up. we popped up, we showed up, we were getting in front of people, people would subscribe. I then would do live shows each week to then help people join the membership, help educate them, help answer questions, and ultimately serve them the best. It has been so fun growing our membership and so fun growing our community by offering more support, by offering, to serve people at a deeper, better level than just our free content. So at the end of the day, looking back to how we grew to 600,000, without the membership, we would have never been able to fund the production, the video editors, the talent, the supplies. Y'all, I used to try to figure out how I could do this business, and the supplies alone for my niche, because it costs a lot to do the type of business I do, like teaching crafts and education, it was so expensive. I was like, there's no way. Like, brand deals are so touch and go. Ads are so low. You have to get like a viral hit every day. It just wasn't possible. So I wanted to make this podcast to really show you that if you don't have a big audience today, you can still start a membership. You can still start serving your audience today, even if you only have a few thousand, people. It's not about that. It's about the people that love you, that know you and like you and want to learn from you. And then you can make them offers. They can buy from you, and you get the control at that point because you have the money that you can then choose to keep a little for yourself and reinvest a certain percent so that you can continually get in front of new people. You can build a team. You can fund video editors. You can fund support. You can fund consultants or like whatever you feel like you need. You can get coaching, like whatever it is that you need. That is the secret. And I wish more people talked about that. To grow on social media, it's 10 times easier if you have a product that you're in control of, that you learn to sell. And I wish someone taught me that sooner instead of thinking I had to work for other people, thinking that brand deals was the thing, thinking that ads were the thing. I see people post online all the time like, I just want to be a YouTuber. I just want to make money from YouTube ads. And I see people teaching like, get your first 1,000 YouTube subscribers or grow a YouTube channel and, just do that. I'm like, that is so hard. Like, what I do is so much easier because it's not about how many thousands of views or how many viral hits. It's about how many people actually, connect and that we can actually serve. Like, you really get to know your people at such a deeper level, and it is so impressive. You are going to love being able to grow a real business that can be funded through social media, but isn't dependent on social media. Can you tell the difference? Like, I don't work for YouTube. I don't work for social media. Like, I contribute to them, but at the end of the day, I make my money and the work I do is outside of YouTube. And it's a vehicle for people to hear my message, to work with me, to, see my offers, but I don't work for them and I don't rely on them because YouTube could change their ad, the way they do ads. Brands are constantly shifting gears, and sometimes there's influencer dollars and sometimes there's not. So you don't want to be dependent on other people to figure out the way that you're going to earn your income. All right. This has been so much fun. Very top level today. I feel like I talked very quick. There's so much to share and it's so good. So if you have questions, be sure to send them over to me on Instagram. I respond to all my DMs. So it's Tanner Bill. You can DM me the word scale and I'll just send you my free training, or you can go to merjo.com/scale, merjo.com/scale. That is scale your business, SCLACE. Okay. Cannot wait to see you at the next episode of the Less Hustle, More Profit podcast. I loved breaking down how we grew our YouTube channel to 600,000 YouTube subscribers and beyond. It is so much fun, and I'll see you in the next podcast.